Hello and welcome to CSCS Tech Talks. Today I'm joined by Chloe Fang from OpenArt. So, Chloe, who are you?
Hi, Brendan. Thanks for having me. Hi everyone. I'm Chloe, currently head of business development and partnerships at OpenArt. Besides that, I'm also finishing my master's degree at MIT. I'm also the president of the MIT Sloan AI Club, so I really see a lot of synergies between the two hats I'm wearing. And I'm a famous AI nerd on campus, love vibe coding, so I'm really excited to be here.
So, for OpenArt or OpenArt AI, what is it? How do you explain this to someone who's never heard of it before?
Open art. That's a really good question because, the video generation space is getting increasingly crowded. There's so many different tools, but I would say open art is where your dreams come true, is where you can visualize whatever crazy dreams you have. So we don't see ourselves as a video generation tool. We see ourselves as a tool to empower and democratize storytelling. So some quick statistics. OpenArt, right now we have 6 million monthly active users, around more than 20 million annual recurring revenue. And our users are very global, mainly US, Europe, but a lot from the other regions as well. And when I mention storytelling, it's because we don't do one single clip generation. So unlike VO3 or some of the other tools out there, what we praise ourselves is we focus on the storytelling. That's why we are the first in the industry to announce consistent character when nobody's even thinking about character consistency. So, on the platform, you can upload 4 images and then build your own character and use that character to generate any image, any video with any model. The same thing applies to, storytelling when we don't, right now, we're also the first in the industry to release one-click story. So with one click, you can generate a full story up to 5 minutes long. That's multi-scene, consistent character, lip sync, voiceover, everything. And then that's how we really see ourselves and see the world, like the video creation is going into, not single clips, but full stories where you can have like a complete vision putting on the screen with just a couple simple prompts or even no prompt.
So, you talked about kind of like empowering people with their creative vision and democratizing it. What does that mean in practice when working on this?
It means that, so if you look at the video creation space, I see it as having 3 layers. The bottom layer would be the model layer where we have, VO3, Nano Banana, Sora 2, these API providers. Now, their models are insanely good, but if you look at the user interface, I mean, Sora is a standalone example, but if you look at like VO3 and all the other model providers, their user experience, the workflow is not as intuitive as it should be. That's why, when I talk to AI influencers that, use VO3 and have like a million followers, they actually have their own, they show me a 20-page PDF playbook they built with their team just to ensure, these are the prompts to ensure consistency, to ensure the same voice, to ensure like these details. And then on top of this model layer, you have the infrastructure layer where there's Google Cloud, there's Fowl AI, all these platforms. And then the layer on top of that, which is the most consumer facing layer, is us, where OpenArt sits. So instead of, building or training our own models, we actually aggregate and access all these different models. And on top of them, we train workflows. That's why when I talk about, consistent character, one-click story generation, these are specific workflows that we train where we see, in the industry where it's demanded, then we train workflows to make it easier for users to use. So for example, with one-click story, there are different type of stories that we see is trending. Maybe like 2 months ago during the summer, it's AI ASMR, cutting everything and making like really soothing sounds. That's all over TikTok. So that's a workflow. That's a use case for our one-click story. Another one is, character vlog. For example, on TikTok, you see the big gorillas or the stormtroopers doing selfie style, talking about some like memes and stuff. That's another type of story. And right now, what we're pushing really hard is music video, because music video is by far one of the most powerful story types. On our back end, we see a lot of users using our one-click story to make music videos already and then post it across social media and generated a lot of traffic. But like when it comes to music video, there's so many things that, the model players, the VO3s, the Nano Bananas don't really provide. For example, how do you ensure beat syncing when you switch from scene to scene? How do you ensure ultra accurate lip sync, which is a must for, music video? How do you ensure, music video, there's different styles, and how do you ensure like the lyrics, this and that? So what we do is we take on-demand use cases, we aggregate the model, we understand what model is good for what, and we train use cases for this.
And actually, talking more about those different models, the platform has over, I think it's over like 100 different models. What's the philosophy behind all that choice as opposed to putting things into one model?
Mm. We have over 100 models because, the space is just iterating so fast. Like every week or at least every 2 weeks, there's a new model or a new update that's being released. And for us, because we have such a large user base, we're actually the key launch partner of most of the top tier models out there. So whenever they have a new release, they'll let us know and we'll work together to ensure like the moment it's up their platform, it will be available on our platform as well. I think like the rationale for us providing multiple models is because each model has its own merits. Like Nano Morena is good at generative editing, having a celebrity holding different type of product for ad generation. VO3 is very photorealistic, but there are also like before VO3, Black Forest Flux is known for being very photorealistic. There's also models for, good with, animation and different type of style. So we want the user to have the flexibility to use what's best for the job instead of being confined with one single model. And then, and I, because the space is evolving so fast, I don't think, the 100 model will be like the status quo, say, like a couple months later. Maybe we're also talking about, a more agentic workflow where maybe the tool can let you know what works better for the specific task. Maybe it can pick the right models to use. Maybe it can orchestrate different models. But that's, I think, where we're also heading into as well.
The next thing is when I was looking into a lot about OpenArt, I joined the Discord community, and you have a very
Thank
big
you.
Discord community, a very active Discord community, and there's lots of people working together and talking with each other. So, like, how important is community for OpenArt?
I think community is very, very important, and it's going to be increasingly important in the future. And I'm saying this not just wearing the hat of from OpenArt, but also as what I've observed from MIT, from like being in the startup community. So at MIT, I founded a community called TNT. We're the launchpad for MIT and Harvard student AI founders. And then we have like successful incubators with our like friend companies being funded. And from all these processes, what I've observed is that because, making products is increasingly easy because of the AI coding tools. There's such an oversupply of tools and softwares and supplies out there. So what's going to be harder and harder in the future is go to market. How do you make sure your thing is the thing that the audience can see, given all these online and offline platforms have been so saturated already? So that's why I think building community is going to be so important, not just for acquiring new users, but also to keeping your user cost at a very low level. So having word of mouth, having like higher retention, having recurring customers, these are all really important. For OpenArt, like when we started our growth, a lot of it comes from building communities. So besides Discord, YouTube is also a very large channel slash community for us. We have, I think, 170,000 followers on YouTube, which is already the top 1%. And that gives us a lot of head start comparing to other startups in this space because a lot of our target users go to YouTube to learn about the tutorials, to learn about these new tools, and getting very hands on. And when it comes to a community, it's not just about online community. I think at least for um, AI startups, or at least for startups like us, like AI software, web apps. What's important is offline communities as well. And I say it because not just for me, but also for my friends building AI coding tools, although or the other B2C AI tools. For example, like we're working for this up. We're organizing a very big event called Open Our Music Video Awards that's gonna start next Wednesday, October the 15th. And then offline is such an important channel for us because we're working with, Machine Cinema, which is a very famous offline community that hosts in-person events across different cities to really gather a community of creators, AI influencers, of people that are interested in the same thing, and to come in and do, hackathons every single weekend. We're working with like a lot of different universities, student clubs. We're working with different artist community and offline communities as well. And it's through these in-person events, especially for AI startups, like it takes a certain, onboarding costs to get them sit down, be patient, go through the process of making their first video and really feeling the value. So being in person or organizing events that's very hands-on is very crucial to getting that adoption as well.
You mentioned this a bit with some events, but a lot of the people watching this podcast are in CSES are more technical users. You know, they wouldn't describe themselves as artists. So, what are you seeing these more technical users building into or integrating into their workflows using your tool?
Mm. Um, I think it depends on, how they categorize themselves. If, say, for example, they want to be a technical founder, then I think it's very important to learn about these content creation tools because you need to find really fast and cheap and effective way to market yourself and market your company. Like I have technical founder friends that learn how to use Veo3 or OpenArt to generate like 10 TikTok shorts on every day and then just keep, and then create 10 different TikTok accounts and then keep blasting content out on TikTok. I'm sure like a lot of the technical friends heard about Cluely. It's this like very famous SF startup that's buying a lot of billboards that do a lot of fancy marketing for them. Like we only see the social media posts that really went viral that's from them, but behind that they actually have an intern team of 30 people doing at least three content per person per day to really build that engine so that maybe one of the videos can really make it, and with that video you get tons of traction. So like I think first of all, even being technical, because of the tools are so easy to use, because of how the channel is shifting, because of the importance of go to market, you need to somehow learn how to, use these tools and then help your company grow. And I think secondly, when you're talking about technical, if we make that term a little bit broader, we also have a lot of technical users on our platform as well. Like besides serving, B2C, people that are like general public, we, our users, some of our clients include, film production studios, VFX studios. Like for example, one of my close friend, his studio is the VFX production house behind John Wick 4, Superman and Louise, all these big Hollywood production, and they also use tools like ours to at least in pre-production to kind of do character visualization to learn how to use these tools. So I think like even technical people they are adopting these tools to increase the efficiency of their process. And then I think one last point to add is that we are also hiring, and we our vision is never confined within building a video generation or story generation platform. Like you see, everyone's seen how magical Sora 2 is. Like even within a couple seconds, it could be multi-scene, it could be conversational. It's like a story. It's not like a VO3 clip. That's also I think where the industry should be going. Like we want to build capabilities and features that goes beyond video generation, other capabilities that could serve content creators, could serve storytellers, because we really believe that AI influencer or AI creator will be a major category in the future, just like the gaming category, the dancing category. And this is such a massively, this is such a high growth segment that their needs, not just from like the production side, but from the consumption side, will be very different versus traditional creators as well. That's why Sora is building the TikTok for AI content. Like everybody's exploring what this consumption platform could look like for AI creators, and I don't think anyone has an answer yet. But you know, how I see technical people fit into our vision is that we need talents that are interested in the space that can, be really crazy and visionary into seeing what the future could be like. Because we're really in a time that no one knows what the future could look like. And it's just incredible to work with people, especially technical people that have a creative side to, join us and build that future together.
Yeah, I think you're right that even technical people do have a creative side. They have a want to make things.
Yes, I
Um,
think like I don't know how like I'm non-technical, but I've been I started vibe coding since last November, I think when Windsurf came out, and then switched them all, like across different tools. I really feel like the process of building tools and softwares and web apps itself is a form of creation as well. And it's so beautiful to see what you have in mind come in life and then having your friends play with it, having a lot of users using it. So yes, I think technical people have a creative side as well.
Thank you for coming on. Do you have any last things to add?
Oh yes, we are organizing our Open Art Music Video Awards that's coming up next Wednesday. We have a lot of resources, a lot of prizes, a lot of cool stuff prepared for this event. So go check out the link or the video. We for winners, we can actually put your music video onto say Times Square billboard and then share across social media. So really, we want this to be a place where even non-professional creators can, visualize their own story, tell your story, visualize the song you like, and then share your creative side.
Thank you for coming on. We will be leaving the social links below to all these things, both OpenArt and also to you personally, Chloe. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.